So your company is in the market for a new phone system and you have to be HIPAA compliant. And you're looking at cloud PBX systems because that's really where the market's headed and that's where the most value is, bang for your buck in terms of phone systems. Well, what you don't want to do is go start asking service providers if they're HIPAA compliant, and if they say yes, you just say great and you move on to the demos and start looking at things, because not all HIPAA compliance is the same. So what you want to do is really evaluate what does that mean with this service provider, and are they HIPAA compliant in the way that meets our organization's standards. There's a lot of items on that list in terms of HIPAA compliance, but today I'm going to be talking about HIPAA compliant voicemail. But before I get started, just a quick reminder, if you're a mid-sized company like 100 to say 5,000 or so employees, and you're looking for a HIPAA compliant phone system, you can for sure watch this video. This is informative, but by all means, contact me. This is my job. I'll talk to you more about it at the end of the video, but contact me, shoot me an email, give me a call. I'm happy to help you and give you some recommendations on specific service providers to quote. So back to the topic, HIPAA compliant voicemail. What does that mean, and what should you look for in a service provider that has HIPAA compliance? Number one is kind of an easy one. It's multi-factor authentication. So you want to make sure that anyone accessing voicemail for the company has to go through some type of multi-factor authentication, and that only authorized users are allowed to access the voicemail system. Number two that you might want to ask is sensitive data encryption. Is the voicemail being encrypted as it's being recorded so that nobody else can listen in to calls and voicemails as they're coming in? Another one that is kind of obvious but you might not have thought of is, where are the voicemails being stored? What server are they sitting on, and is that secure and is that HIPAA compliant? Something you may not have thought of is automated deletion of voicemails. So your company may want to make sure that automatically the cloud PBX service provider deletes all voicemails over 30 days old. That way you don't have to do it, and that's not something that you have to remind yourself to do. Another good one here is no vendor access to the voicemails. So nobody from the cloud PBX service provider is ever allowed to access any of your company's voicemails in any way. And how is the cloud PBX provider monitoring that? And last but not least, voicemail transmission tracking. What that means is that you can see a date and time that every single voicemail was left with your company. So there's a history, there's a trail behind every voicemail that was left, so that you can track it from a management perspective. I hope that was helpful. If it was, make sure to hit the like button down below. And also, if you want to know which service providers to quote for your mid-sized company for a HIPAA compliant cloud PBX system, don't search Google. This is actually my job. I'm a broker for all the major cloud PBX service providers. And if you reach out to me, I can ask you a few questions about your organization and quickly tell you the best handful of companies that you should be quoting for a HIPAA compliant phone system. And I can also introduce you to the right people at those service providers, make sure they give you a great quote, all that good stuff, and kind of tell you some little ins and outs along the way. So I'll save you a lot of time. And by the way, I will not charge you a dime for our service, because the service providers will actually pay for our broker service. So it's absolutely free to you, no excuse for you not to give me a call. I'm happy to help. And again, hope this video was helpful, and I will catch you on the next one.